not like 1 calorie equal to 4.18 joule. That is the definition of 1 calorie. 1 calorie is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 Kelvin, yeah, 1 degree Celsius. That is the definition of 1 calorie. The amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 Kelvin. Now you'll be able to remember this value easily, isn't it? So you can use 4.18, you can use 4.2 as you wish. Any doubt? You have 10 seconds to respond. Please don't write nope. Please don't write nope. Please don't write nope. C is, where is it in different unit? C is 4.18 joule per kg per Kelvin. Delta T is in Kelvin. Mass is in kg. And the left side is now in joules because I multiplied it by 10 to power 3. Uh, okay, I understood what you're saying. Gallon or kg ka issue hai. No, value of sea water in any other unit. This would become 1 calorie per kg Kelvin. यार यहाँ पे गैलन और केजी का इशू है, सोल्यूशन में भी है क्या? नहीं, सोल्यूशन में नहीं है. So नहीं तो ठीक है ना, 1 gallon we are using, so 1 gallon into this will give you just kilojoules, and then 10 to power 3 will give you only joules. We don't need the conversion. We don't need the conversion because we are burning 1 gallon of gasoline. So this value into 1 gallon will give you just the value. So we don't need the conversion. और ये गैलन वैलन वाले लफड़े में फंसने का नहीं. US gallon and UK gallon are different things. Whenever you see in the question gallon or any other nonsense is used and they have not given you the conversion unit, simply skip the question, move ahead, not worth the time. Standard conversions like feet, mile, etc., those are fine, but a gallon or a barrel, don't get into those volume conversions, just skip it. A certain mass of gas is expanded from this to this against a constant external pressure of 1 atm, matlab irreversible process. If initial temperature of gas is 300 Kelvin and heat capacity of the process is this much, calculate the delta H of the process. Okay. Certain mass of a gas. So this is no reaction, right? This is no reaction. So will using this be of any help? This is not a reaction. So is this equation even valid? This equation is not even valid here. So don't end up trying to use this equation. It is valid only for reactions. I'm sure many must have tried this in the first shot. कि sir, reaction हो नहीं रहा है, delta Ng is 0, delta H becomes equal to delta U, and delta U we will calculate. This reaction, this equation is only valid when a reaction is taking place. Whether a physical change, whether a chemical change, reaction should happen. So this is not valid here at all. So what will you have to do? You will have to use this. And because pressure is also changing, volume is also changing, this will open as what? P2V2 minus P1V1. तो सर थोड़ा तो काम आसान हो गया. Now we know that if I can find delta U, I can find delta H. Sir, you have always said that delta U ka universal formula is NCV delta T. But the problem is, has he mentioned you whether the given C is CV or CP? No, he has not mentioned. So I cannot end up using this also. Formula is valid, but I cannot use it because I don't know what is given in the question. So I will start off with my basics, that is first law of thermodynamics. So I will start off with my basics, that is first law of thermodynamics. Heat transferred will be given as what? Temperature change into the heat capacity, that is 50. So this will give me value in joules. What will be the work done? Because it is an irreversible process, work done is always minus P external into delta V. but this will give me answer in atmosphere liter. This is giving in joules. So what to do? Multiply by 100. तो ये हो जाएगा जूल अपॉन एटीएम लीटर. Is this much understood, guys? Sir, where to get delta T from? We just know initial temperature. We don't know final temperature. You do know that P1 V1 upon T1 equal to P2 V2 upon T2 because moles are constant. Moles are not escaping. Nowhere it is mentioned that it is leaking away. Right? So from this, you will get the value of T2 and T2 minus T1 will give you delta T. So from here, you'll get delta U and delta U goes here, you get delta H. Obviously, lots of calculation. It is physical chemistry. What do you expect? एंड पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. अभी हम फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स पे हैं. देर आर थ्री लॉज. सेकेंड लॉ, थर्ड लॉ. See, I agree it is heavy. I agree it is heavy. But you are understanding, right? You are able to solve at least 50-60% of the questions. Exactly. Then it's okay, na? Then why are you scared? Then it should be like bring it on. Yeah, 50-60% in first go is always good in any chapter. Then you start re-attempting. Once you attempt, you get 50-60% correct. Then whatever went wrong or you were not able to do, you quickly re-attempt them. You don't see the solution. Then you'll be able to reach 70-80 guaranteed, because many times what happens when you're attempting for the first time, you end up doing some silly mistake or you don't remember some formula or any something like that, because of which it ends up going wrong. So if there are questions in your list which went wrong or you were not able to answer because of a formula, revise the formula, then reattempt. But as I've said, don't sit with theory while solving questions. It's absolutely fine to get 50-60% in first go. Nothing, Janvi. Practice. First, mug all the equations properly. Which equation to be used when? With not just the formula, the condition also. And then just keep solving more and more. That will only help. Now, this is a real gas system. This is a real gas system. Can I directly use du equal to ncv dt? No, I cannot use that. Why? Because for a real gas, u is a function of pressure volume as well, not just temperature. तो क्या करें सर? Let's start off with first law of thermodynamics, that du equal to q plus w. So let's write it as delta u equal to q plus w. ये dq plus dw. Sir, how will you calculate q? How will you calculate work done? Work done I can calculate because pressure external is constant, only volume is changing. So work done will calculate by P external into delta V, right? So sir, how will you calculate Q then? Q I will calculate using NCP delta T because heat transferred. Now here I am obviously assuming that it was a constant pressure process because initially it is also 2 bar, finally it is also 2 bar. So I'm making that assumption. Is it clear? Now the question comes, but sir, last class, if you remember, it was sort of this derivation only which converted NCV delta T into NCP delta T for delta H. Do you guys remember? So then why am I not getting the correct answer when I use this directly? Valid question, right? Last class, May, we did something like this only to convert delta U into delta H. So when we solve this question using NCV delta T directly, why don't we get a correct answer? The reason is P delta V will not be equal to NR delta T. It is a real gas, not an ideal gas. P delta V will not be equal to NR delta T because it is a real gas, not an ideal gas. And hence Delta U will not come out to be NCV delta T. Have I made myself very clear? Any doubt? Okay, I'll explain once more quickly. I cannot use du equal to NCV dt directly because it is a real gas, not an ideal gas. A real gas is a function of pressure, volume, temperature, all three. So what do? I go to first law of thermodynamics and I calculate using it there. Sir, it looks like if I write P delta V ko NR delta T, this would become NCV delta T, isn't it? So why couldn't we directly use NCV delta T? We cannot write P delta V as NR delta T because it is a real gas, not an ideal gas. No problem, no problem. Clear, guys? Palak now understood? Sir, in last class we learned that Cp minus Cv is R, but it is not applicable here. How did we derive Cp minus Cv is R? By using this equation only, na, delta U equal to NCV delta T and delta H equal to delta U plus delta of PV. Then we wrote delta PV as NR delta T. है कि नहीं? But we cannot write delta of PV as NR delta T here. Okay, now tell me one thing. Is this written correctly? Is this written correctly? Yes, CV is given for you to confuse that you would immediately mark A. This is definitely not written correctly because per Kelvin नहीं होना चाहिए था, mole Kelvin. Exactly. Now, in many question के solutions में ना, they have used like this. You be smart, don't end up doing the same mistake that they are doing. चलो, quickly I give you 1 minute to go through this question. नहीं, 1 minute बहुत हो गया. I give you 30 seconds to go through this question and then I will discuss. Divakar, we are revising questions from the previous class. Where to use them क्या होता है? If a formula is for reversible work done isothermal process, so where will you use it? बताओ बताओ. ले नहीं पता. I will give you a formula sheet, don't worry. But don't rely on me to give you one. You also try and make one on your own. चलो let's continue. A liquid of volume 100 liter and at an external pressure of 10 liter is confined in an adiabatic bath. मतलब heat cannot be lost. Q is zero. External pressure of the liquid is suddenly increased to 100. मतलब we are talking about an irreversible process suddenly increased. And P external कितना आ गया 100 atm. And compressed by 1 liter मतलब delta V is minus 1 liter. Right? Data extraction done. Now he says find the work done. Work done will be what? Minus P external into delta V. But we don't leave the answer in atmosphere liter, we convert it into joules. Then next is delta U. Q is zero, so delta U will be equal to W. Because Q is zero, adiabatic process, तो ये भी हो गया solve. Then delta H, because it is a liquid, I will have to expand it fully. P2 V2 minus P1 V1. Sir, gas भी होती तो expand करते ही ना, because it is not a reaction. Makes sense, agreed. So delta U का value already calculate हो चुका है. This was delta V. Delta U का value already calculate हो चुका है work done से. So that I will plug in here directly. P2 will be what? P2 will be 100 final pressure. P1 will be 10 initial pressure. V1 is 100 and V2 is 99. Again, this value will come out to be in liter atmosphere. So पूरे को we will have to multiply by 100. Did you guys notice how I am keeping tab of units in everything I write? I don't leave it कि बाद में आके देखेंगे. So you should also do it that way only. I hope there is no doubt now. Can I move ahead? Whatever answer comes out to be, I don't mind. Now, a liquid is confined in an adiabatic container is suddenly taken from state 1 to state 2. Suddenly taken from state 1 to state 2 by a single step process. मतलब इन्होंने तो कोई भी path draw ही नहीं किया कहीं पे भी. They have not drawn any process anywhere. But it means that it is irreversible. So actually the path is this, isn't it? Dotted one, sudden change. In the previous question, you were talking. What I was talking? How to that gas equation? What? I didn't use gas equation anywhere because it is a liquid. I cannot use gas equation anywhere. It was a liquid. And work done equal to minus P external delta V is not a gas equation. It came from F dot ds only. So that could have been a liquid, gas, anything. Is this what you were talking about? Awesome. Initial P is 10 and P2 is just in ATM. क्या? Typing mistake. अरे प्रेशर एटमॉस्फेयर लीटर में थोड़ी ना होता है. मैं कुछ भी लिख दूंगा तो हो थोड़ी जाएगा. ओह, ज्यादा सोच लिया, सर दुखने लगा होगा. जस्ट किडिंग. हाँ पलक, प्लीज डोंट माइंड इट. यार लॉकडाउन चल रहा है, किससे मस्ती करें बताओ. तो फिर चलो. नाउ लेट्स कंटिन्यू. लिक्विड प्रोसेस है, तो इट इज क्लियर दैट डेल्टा एच विल कम फ्रॉम दिस फॉर्मूला. है कि नहीं? P2 is P naught, P1 is 2P naught, V2 is 4V naught and V1 is V naught. Delta U कहां से निकलेगा? Delta U will come from Q plus W. It is basically the same question that we did just a while back. This is just in numbers, in variables. That was in numbers. Adiabatic process hai, so Q is again 0 and work done will be written as minus P external into delta V. Do you agree P external is final pressure here? P external is final pressure here. ये सबको समझ में आता है ना? Irreversible process में P external automatically becomes the final pressure always, isn't it? In a, listen carefully, important statement. In a irreversible process, P external automatically becomes P final in a single stage. In a single stage. Check करो. Single step compression. Sorry, single step expansion. So P external was what? This value itself, which is also your final pressure. When we are compressing, this is P external and this is also your final pressure. So for irreversible process, P external equal to P final in a single step. अब इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा कैच है. Unless mentioned otherwise. Matlab, do you remember a question we solved a while back? P external was 180 m, but it never actually reached 180 m. वो it was some 100 to 10 against P external as 180 m. So unless the question says it will always be equal, but अगर question में लिखा है तो it will not be the same. चलो next. Sir, since arrows are not given, so how can you say that P1 is P not? How arrows were given? Arrows are given. I drew the arrows. Okay, in this question, he says state 1 to state 2. He says state 1 to state 2. Salah, next. Final question. Read through, I give you 30 seconds. And think what will you do. Rather take 1 minute, think what will you do. Even if you know the solution. Five, four, three, two, one, and let's continue. So you must have understood that this entire process is happening in two parts. One part is going from 450 to 500 in a liquid form, and then the other part is boiling at 500. Yes or no? This question is broken down into two parts, where first we have liquid converting from 450 to 500, and then we have a reaction or a physical change happening where 40 gram of X evaporates. He's asking you what is the internal energy delta U for the overall process. Okay. Now, can I say that for liquids, Cp and Cv should not matter? For liquids, whether you do a process at constant pressure, whether you do it at constant volume, liquids are incompressible, उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो Cp and Cv of a liquid should be the same, right? So I can say that delta H equal to delta U for liquid. That means XL at 450 going to XL at 500. This is a liquid heating up, right? It will get heated up at constant pressure. So heat released or heat absorbed in this process will be equal to delta H. But since we are doing it for a liquid, this will also be equal to delta U. Is this much understood? Now, QP कहाँ से calculate होगा? To calculate QP, he has given you molar heat capacity of X, that is 60 joule per mole. Molecular weight कहाँ है? ये रहा. Atomic weight is 20. And initially I know I have 100 gram of X. Matlab I have 5 moles of X. So QP will become what? 5 moles into 60 joule per mole into the temperature change, that is 50. This will come out in joules now. Okay, so this was for the liquid part. Now, what is the next part happening? Next part is a reaction. Reaction. Please repeat this. TV. Basically, after it reaches 500, yes, because 500 is given. Okay, step 500 is given as a boiling point in the question. Mrityunjay, question is in two parts. One part is this, and the other part is this, where 40 gram, that is 2 moles evaporate. 2 moles evaporate. So for the first part, because it is a liquid heating up, delta H is equal to delta U. And because we are heating a liquid, no pressure and all will not change. It's a liquid system, incompressible. Where is delta H given? Where is delta H given? You forgot to look further down. Chalo. So the second part is evaporation. The first part was liquid heating. Liquid heating may it will be happening at constant pressure. So delta H equal to delta U, and Q can be written as NC delta T. Now, if you see the formula for C, it says joule per Kelvin per mole. Matlab I will have to multiply 60 by the total number of moles that are getting heated into the temperature difference. So that gives me QP. Now, this is a reaction step. So for this, delta U will be equal to what? Delta H minus delta NGRT. Sir, why are we using this formula now? Because delta H evaporation is given to me, and I need to find delta U evaporation. Hence, I'm using this formula. Let's go back. Let's see the data. 30 kilojoule per mole. So this will come out to, this will I will plug in as 30 joules. Delta Ng, you can see it is 1. R will be 8.314, and this is happening at 500 Kelvin. Is this the answer? No, because this was for per mole. This you will get it as joule per mole. You need for 2 mole evaporation. So delta U will be 2 times delta U evaporation. Final answer will be what? Final answer will be, इसको let's say delta U1. Final answer would be delta U1 plus delta UT. Is it understood? Because for liquids, when you heat up, their pressure does not change, their volume changes. Liquids, when you heat up, the pressure of the system does not change significantly. So it's a pressure constant process. Or otherwise be, I had, if you think I had no choice, the question gave me some value of molar heat capacity, I would have to use it to calculate delta U. कोई option ही नहीं है, नहीं तो question अटक जाएगा. Question will get stuck if you don't end up using this formula. Clear? Now, this is today's agenda. Do you recognize majority of today's agenda is already done? Which part is not done? The adiabatic process part. The adiabatic process part. Rest all is already done. So there are loads of questions in the slides. I will first cover adiabatic process wala theory. uh, who is adiabatic process? So what I was saying is I will first cover the theory for adiabatic process. Then I will make a chart or list down all the formulae for all the processes, and then if time permits we'll pick up questions. Otherwise you will attempt them on your own. Whoever is just reading through them is wasting the opportunity. You're supposed to solve them. If you're not able to do it, then go through the solution. Again, like today's class, I will pick up all these questions tomorrow in the class to discuss. I think that makes much more sense rather than me giving you teaching you theory now itself and expecting you to apply it in those little higher level questions. है ना? So let's try that. Let's try that. If it is successful or if it improves things, good enough. You can always tell me, sir, ये चीज नहीं जम रहा. So we can revert back. Anesh, you are solving exercise 1 now, isn't it? Exactly my point. It is improving. Sir. Good job, Vishesh. Adiabatic किधर गया? ये रहा. Whatever I am going to write down for you in random handwriting is also given properly in typed format, so you can go through it whichever way you want. I am now starting reversible adiabatic process. Reversible adiabatic process. Do you remember in the in the second class, when we talked about processes, I told you adiabatic process has a different equation. We don't follow P1 V1 upon T1 N1 equal to P2 V2 upon N2 T2 for adiabatic. Adiabatic has a different equation. याद है क्या? So what are we going to do? We are going to first derive that equation. It will be a lot of math, but simple math. So please keep following. पहले तो पेन चेंज करते हैं. First law of thermodynamics tells us that delta U equal to Q plus W. Now, since it is an adiabatic process, we say this is zero. So delta U will become this. I'm writing it in differential format, not in integral format. Differential format mein when I write now I'm substituting their formulae minus P into dV. Okay, this equation cannot be integrated right now because pressure is a different variable. I need to convert pressure into volume and temperature so that I can integrate it. Therefore I write it as minus nRT by V into dV. This is equal to NCV dt. Now I am rearranging it so that NCV I get dt by t, and I leave n gets cancelled, right? n को क्यों लेके चल रहे हैं, n को हटा देते हैं. So CV into dt by t becomes what? R into dv by v with a minus sign. Any doubt till here? Now I'm this is for ideal gas. Now what about कोई अनेश के क्वेश्चन का आंसर करेगा? We said something in the first class. वो रियल गैस वाले क्वेश्चन रैंडमली उड़ उड़ के आ जाते हैं कहीं ना कहीं से, बट दे आर आउट ऑफ सिलेबस क्वेश्चंस. Think about it. 1 second, I'll tell you. One second, I'll tell you why. Think about it. So simply we substituted P की जगह nRT by V. What if I tell you use Van der Waal equation and then substitute P की जगह T and V, and then you integrate also? I'm not going to do all that. So now let's go ahead, please. Integrating both sides. Please, let's come back. Integrating both sides. What do we get? When we integrate both sides, we get CV ln T, है ना, equal to minus R ln V. Please check. Just hold on, please. सब सही तो चल रहा था. हाँ, correct. Limits T1 से T2, V1 से V2. So you will get CV ln T2 by T1. I'm bringing R here, CV by R equal to minus ln V2 by V1. Are you with me? Now I'm writing it as ln of T2 by T1 to the power CV by R, and I'm writing it as ln of V2 by V1 to the power minus 1. Both sides I will take anti-log, so ln disappears. Ln never gets cancelled on both sides. You take anti-log, तो log का anti-log gives you 1 or no function, or log का anti-log of x gives you x. That is the logic, true logic here. Now what to do? Now I'm going to rearrange it slightly, because this becomes then v1 upon v2. Oh, you don't know anti-log? Then forget it what I said. Ln we cancelled. हाँ, तो वो सब कहाँ से अभी पढ़ाता बैठूंगा, बताओ, मैथ्स वाले काम है. CV by R into V2 equal to T1 into CV by R into V1. Can I therefore write this as, please pay attention. Can I therefore write it as this into V is a constant? Pay attention, please. I want, I don't want to write it in terms of CV. I wanted to write it in terms of gamma. I know two formulae. One is CP minus CV is equal to R, and the other is CP upon CV is gamma. Now, please check from here. You will get CP equal to gamma R by gamma minus 1 and CV equal to R by gamma minus 1. Please check. From this and this, I will end up with this. Gamma is Poisson's ratio we discussed in the previous class. It's a constant. Understood? Cp का formula is gamma r by gamma minus 1 and Cv का formula is r by gamma minus 1. So if you remember gamma, you can directly write Cp Cv value. Now let's continue this ahead. So I got uh, T की power Cv by r into V is a constant. And then I said Cv equal to r by gamma minus 1. I used this equation, equation 1 and equation 2, to calculate Cp and Cv in terms of gamma. To equation 2 unknown. So this was our equation. This was the value of Cv. Now I'm plugging it in the prime in the first equation. So what do we get? We will get T ki power 1 by gamma minus 1 into V is a constant. Are you with me? So you will agree that, sir, you can write it like this also. Now I'm using PV equal to nRT to get rid of temperature. तो PV की पावर NR into gamma, sorry, gamma नहीं, into V की power gamma minus 1 is a constant. So I will get P into V की power gamma equal to a new constant, but है तो constant ही, so I'm writing it as constant. You can also eliminate volume altogether and get an equation in pressure and temperature. How? Volume will be eliminated by writing it as nRT by P की power gamma is a constant. So please notice the math will give you this. These are the equations which are valid when a reversible adiabatic process is taking place. I remember it like this. PV ki power gamma is a constant. From this, I can easily convert it into this using PV equal to nRT, or I can even convert it into this using PV equal to nRT. Obviously, practice लगता है so that you don't make errors. I'm going back to the previous page. There was, go through it all over from the start and ask doubt if any till the end of the page. Sir, do we need to remember this derivation? Will it be asked in exam? No, it will not be asked. From here, that I could have written this for T3, T3, V3. I could have written this for T4, V4, T5, V5. That means at every step in this reversible adiabatic process, T keep our CV by R into V is a constant. Boards out of syllabus. Sir, how log came? Dx by x का integral is ln x. Done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and next. Go through it, please. Be specific. Can somebody answer Daksh question? This is for reversible only. This is for reversible only. So work done for a adiabatic process, for a reversible adiabatic process, will be equal to delta U. Delta U will be NCV delta T. Simple mathematical manipulations will end up with this formula. Delta of PV upon gamma minus 1. Now, कहाँ पे थे? कौन क्या पूछ रहा था? This box. Aditya, you multiply both the sides by gamma by you take the power to gamma minus 1 on both sides. You take the power to gamma minus 1 on both sides. So constant does not matter whatever it is, because I will always be using it as P1 V1 ki power gamma equal to P2 V2 ki power gamma. So constant won't matter. Is this point understood, guys? Now you have to all the equations that you need to answer my next question. Sir, in the last formula, what's in the denominator? I'll write it more clearly. Sorry, I'll write it as clearly as I can. Gamma minus 1. Now is it better? Cool. Now, adiabatic compression implies cooling or heating. All the equations that you need to answer the question are in front of you. The denominator is gamma minus 1, yes. Wait. Option A is for cooling, option B is for heating. Option A is for cooling, option B is for heating. Adiabatic compression means what? Adiabatic compression means what? Is it cooling or heating? Time up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. The answer is heating, not cooling. Adiabatic compression is heating. The gas gets heated up. Why? Yeah, how can you tell from the equations? I'll show you how. P1 की power 1 minus gamma into T1 की power gamma equal to T2 की power gamma into P2 की power 1 minus gamma. I want to find the relationship between T2 T1, right? So T2 can be written as T1 into P1 by P2 to the power 1 minus gamma upon gamma. Please check. T2 can be written as T1 into P1 by P2 की power 1 minus gamma upon gamma. जैसे यहां से 1 by 1 minus gamma हटाया था, वैसे ही यहां से gamma भी हटाया by power on both sides by 1 by gamma. Now, do you agree gammas were greater than 1? Gamma was Cp by Cv and Cp is Cv plus R. So Cp is greater than Cv. That means gamma is definitely greater than 1, right? Now we are talking about adiabatic compression. Matlab P2 is greater than P1. Can I say 1 minus gamma is therefore a negative quantity? Guys, listen to the math now. Listen to the math now. एक बार में कान खुला करके सुनो. Gamma is greater than 1. So 1 minus gamma is a negative quantity. P1 by P2 is a fraction because P2 is greater than P1. I was compressing. P2 is greater than P1 because I was compressing. So P1 by P2 is a fraction. Fraction की power, a negative number will give you overall one से बड़ी quantity. Fraction की power, a negative number will give you overall a quantity greater than 1. No, I cannot repeat all that because I've covered all that in the previous class. That gamma is 5 by 3, 7 by 5. How much times do I keep repeating the same thing? आगे भी तो बढ़ना है ना, एक एक चीज को दो दो बार क्यों पढ़ाऊं? वहां पे वो पूछ रहे हैं वाई पी टू इज ग्रेटर देन पी वन. अरे भैया कंप्रेशन हो रहा है. If it is compression, P2 will definitely be greater than P1, isn't it? I will not be mentioning or clearing such obvious points. Grow up, pay attention. Everything reason will not be mentioned here or told to you. You have to connect things on your own. Otherwise, it is same as teaching any other batch. Ki hi-fi, ki if I'm telling things in detail, I'm rather bringing problem to myself because I have to then keep mentioning everything in detail. How will I cover the syllabus, guys? Think about it. I'm not saying don't ask doubts, but you have to use your logical reasoning before asking doubts. P1, P2 is greater than P1, so this in bracket inside thing is a fraction. Gamma is greater than 1 because gamma is Cp by Cv. Cp is Cv plus R. That means Cp is greater than Cv. So Cp by Cv is greater than 1 for gamma. Otherwise भी gamma की वैल्यू आपको रटने को बोला था लास्ट क्लास में. 5 by 3, 7 by 5. So it is greater than 1. So 1 minus gamma is a negative quantity. Fraction की power negative quantity. Fraction की power negative quantity will give you what? Half square, right? Sorry, half की power minus 2. That means 2 square. So you'll get a quantity greater than 1. Implies T2 is greater than T1. That means it is heating up. So adiabatic compression means heating and adiabatic expansion would mean cooling. Sir, why are we talking about this here only? We did not talk about this in isochoric, isothermal, isobaric कि compression मतलब heating हो रहा है कि expansion हो रहा है. There it was obvious ना. If it is isothermal expansion मतलब temperature is not changing. If it is isobaric expansion means volume increases, so temperature increases. But here, because the governing equations are not so direct, we cannot give a direct answer. So this is an important thing you should remember. Adiabatic compression means heating and adiabatic expansion means cooling. If there is any doubt which is not associated with y gamma is greater than 1, एक बार वापस बता दो, या y p2 is greater than p1, एक बार वापस बता दो. Apart from this, please ask anything else. Sir, how did you come from year to year? Basic mathematical manipulation. Sit a notebook and figure it out. From first box also we can write it is heating, right? First box as in this box. Yes, you can do the same conclusion that I did from pnt from vnt also. Gamma is greater than 1, so gamma minus 1 is a fraction, but then you'll have slight trouble here. gamma minus 1 will be always a fraction. Yes, so you'll not have a problem. You can do it. Any other doubt? Chalo, then let's move ahead. Next point in adiabatic process. So adiabatic processes mein one point was important, that adiabatic compression means adiabatic heating and adiabatic expansion means adiabatic cooling. When a gas leaks from a tube, from a tire, it is an adiabatic process, don't you think? Because the gas is expanding against 1 atm pressure. When a gas leaks out from a tube in a tire, it is it is coming out from a high pressure to a low pressure, but that low pressure is fixed now, 1 atm. You suddenly expose the gas from high to low pressure. So can I say that that is an adiabatic process? Sorry, can I say that that is an irreversible process? Yes, I can say that it is an irreversible process. Can I say that it is an adiabatic process? Ideally, it is an adiabatic process. Ideally, it is an adiabatic process, and therefore we say that it cools down. Now, this is the second point, which is very, very, very important in an adiabatic system. That if I'm going from state A to state B via a adiabatic process, one path is reversible, other path is irreversible. This kind of a situation is not possible at all. I repeat, if I want to go to state A to state B via adiabatic process, one way through reversible, other way through irreversible, so it will not be possible. Why? I will tell you, I will explain. First, the statement that two states cannot be connected via reversible adiabatic as well as irreversible adiabatic. सर कैन यू एक्सप्लेन अ बिट कि वो आइसोथर्मल में था क्या ये पॉसिबल? आइसोथर्मल में पॉसिबल था, वी डिड दिस आल्सो. I was taking this step diagram, so it was possible to reach that point. So when we had isothermal process, two states, state A, state B, can be connected via reversible as well as irreversible. Such thing is not possible here. Such thing is not possible here. Sir, can you first tell us what is the diagram of a PV graph in adiabatic process? Sure, let's understand that first. Uh, Isothermal process में PV is a hyperbola. Adiabatic process में it looks like a hyperbola, but it is not actually a hyperbola. It looks like a hyperbola, but it is not actually a hyperbola. It is following this equation. Is this point understood? It looks like a hyperbola, but it is not actually a hyperbola. It is following PV ki power gamma is a constant. Now, what will be the slope at any point in this graph? What will be the slope? Matlab dp by dv value at any point in this graph. So the governing equation is this. I now start differentiating it. Constant का differentiation is zero, right? फिजिक्स वालों ने differentiation by parts पढ़ा है. Cool. So this year I'm using now by parts in P and V की power gamma. Differentiation of first into second plus difference plus the first into differentiation of second. ये होता है ना differentiation by parts. So V की power gamma into dp plus p into gamma की power v to sorry gamma into v की power gamma minus 1. x की power a का differential is a into x की power a minus 1 into dv. Now what I'm doing, I'm taking this thing on the other side of the equation and bringing dv back. So I will get minus p gamma v की power gamma minus 1 upon v की power gamma. So I will get it as minus gamma p by v. Please check. No, you just need to write the final result if you're writing. That slope in adiabatic process is minus gamma p by v. Please check this isothermal wala slope as well. Yeah, can't help. There is no small r anywhere. So wherever you see small r, it is gamma. Guys, is this understood? Is this understood? So at a given value of P and V, which graph will have a more negative slope? At a given point in PV graph, which graph, adiabatic or isothermal, will have a negative slope? Adiabatic graph will have a negative slope because gamma is greater than 1. Will have a more negative slope. We will be using that point later. We will be talking about that point later. Now, is the statement here clear that point state A and state B cannot be connected by reversible adiabatic as well as irreversible adiabatic? इसका मतलब है that if I start from state A via reversible adiabatic and irreversible adiabatic, both will not land up at the same state B. One will land up at state B, and other, let's say, will land up at state B dash. Why is that case? That we need to understand and that we need to study. So to understand that, let's talk about this. I hope you remember this. We covered it in last to last class. If we talk about a compression process, if we talk about a compression process, irreversible work done is more than reversible work done. Now, for a adiabatic compression process, Q is 0. So W becomes equal to delta U. So same formula will be valid for delta U. Is this U velocity or is this U internal energy? Internal energy, before anyone asks. Now, can I say therefore, because internal energy is equal to NCV delta T, so delta T for reversible will be less than delta T for irreversible. Sorry, गलत लिख दिया, V नहीं T. Now, do you remember adiabatic compression means adiabatic heating? So T2 reversible minus T1 ऐसे लिखना चाहिए ना delta T को. Final temperature will be more than initial because it is heating. And this minus of T1 minus T1 gets cancelled. So you will get this. I started off from a point P1 V1 T1, but T2 for reversible is coming less than T2 for irreversible. So definitely P2 and V2 will also be different, isn't it? They will not be the same. Are you with me? How did temperature directly convert to pressure? Temperature directly convert to volume. Even when I'm saying PV की power gamma is a constant, pressure है तो inversely proportional to volume ही ना. P is inversely proportional to V only, isn't it? So the same logic gets applied here, that T at the end will be proportional to P. T at the end will be proportional to V. Agreed that proportionality will have some gamma term floating around. Can we discuss this on a graph now? Suppose I started off from this point. Okay. You just now saw that volume irreversible comes more than volume reversible. So this will be your irreversible process ka end, and this will be your reversible process ka end. And hence if I start off from a point and I go through reversible or irreversible, I will not end up at the same point. Is this understood? Is this very, very clear? Sir, do we need to mug the results here? Absolutely no. See, simply this will give you the answer always. Work done reversible greater than work done irreversible. Sir, how? I will show you. Wait. Suppose I am starting from this point and I'm talking about, let's say, expansion. Expansion means what? Volume has to increase, pressure has to decrease. So one graph will go like this. Suppose reversible or irreversible, I don't care. Suppose they both have the similar nature and they go like this. I stop it at a fixed final volume. I stop it at a fixed final volume. Right? Are you with me? Now, work done irreversible was greater than work done reversible. So which is the upper graph? So which is the upper graph? Work done irreversible. This is expansion, right? We are lowering down the pressure. Are you sure? This is expansion. Here it was compression. Are you still very sure? उल्टा होना चाहिए. How do you remember, sir? We are not able to relate. I related it from that point that हमने डिस्कस किया था 2 classes ago. As an industry guy, I want a process to be reversible always. Why? Because during compression, it makes me do lesser work, and during expansion, it gives me more work. Do you remember this statement? As an industry guy, as a company guy, I always want a reversible process. Why? Because during compression, it makes me do less work, and during expansion, it gives out more work. So this is your reversible process and this is your irreversible process. Hence, the endpoint can never be the same. Now, the same graph I am now writing, I am now stopping at fixed P final. V final is not fixed, but the P final is fixed. It is the same thing, pressure versus volume, expansion only. So again, as you can see, work done will be more under which graph? Will be more under reversible graph, will be lesser under irreversible graph. Sir, from this graph, we can also compare V2 reversible and V2 irreversible, isn't it? From this graph, we can clearly compare the value for V2 reversible, which will be this, and this will be V2 irreversible. So V2 reversible more than V2 irreversible. यहाँ पर P2 reversible more than P2 irreversible. So I don't need to remember them. Only the work done idea helps me conclude this very easily. Are you with me? If there is any doubt in these 2 graphs, please ask. Chalo. Now let's talk about compression. Let's talk about compression. Compression means what? Increasing pressure, right? So the graph will be, suppose I am first talking about V फाइनल एज सेम, सो एक ग्राफ ऐसा बनेगा, एक ग्राफ ऐसा बनेगा. यू डिसाइड एंड टेल मी, यू डिसाइड एंड टेल मी which is reversible, which is irreversible, but please think and answer, don't be in a hurry. Lower one reversible, yes, because compression may I have to do work, I want to do less work, and therefore now I will say P2 irreversible is more than P2 reversible. Ulta ho gaya. But will I remember the pressure relationship? No, I will not remember the pressure relationship. If asked in exam, I will immediately draw these graph like this and I will answer. Guys, I'm spending time on this. It's not a waste because it is not possible to remember everything always. So थोड़ा बहुत चीजें infer करना आना पड़ेगा. You'll have to know how to infer things in the end. Now, here things become a bit tricky, isn't it? Sir, area comparison is not that easy now. The first graph the first graph or the second graph, which one has higher area? Can I compare that directly now? Nahin na, at least I am feeling that there is some problem. I cannot compare directly. So what will I do? I will take the analogy from here that if pressure is coming higher, volume will also come higher. If pressure is coming higher, volume will also come higher. एक मिनट नहीं, sorry. PV की power कम. If pressure is higher, तो volume will be lower. हाँ, volume will be lower. This will be reversible and this will be again irreversible. Same logic, same logic. V2 irreversible will be this, V2 reversible will be this. If pressure is higher, volume will also be higher. कैसे? ये वाले logic से. The relationship between temperature holds true for pressure and volume both. The same thing they have expressed here, but sadly they took only one of them. They did not compare. We drew comparison charts. Is it understood? Sir, off topic doubt. In how much time would you be able to provide the formula list? Why are they changing in compression? They are because the अब ऐसे कैसे बताऊं? uh, because of the slope. No, not because of the slope. Actually speaking, okay, I'll tell you. Actually speaking, the irreversible graph, will it have this diagram? Actually speaking, the irreversible graph, will it have a smooth diagram like this? No, na. It will actually have a step case diagram. It will actually have a step case diagram. This I have drawn just for the sake of comparison. So because that step will either be above this or it will be below this. And hence we are getting different answers in compression and expansion. So let me write this here. In the third graph, V final is the same, yes, but P is different. Let me write it here. Irreversible graphs are actually step case or stepwise, not smooth. The step is above the expansion. So in this case, it will be below. It will be below. In compression, it is above. वो हमने पहले डिस्कस कर लिया था. In irreversible case, when we expand, irreversible graphs are lower because I have to expand against a constant external pressure. And in compression, they are above. Janvi, you strictly need to revise things. When we try to infer this ourselves, can we always assume the P and no, not really. You land up in trouble. I knew the answer, that is why I was able to conclude. Otherwise, you land up in trouble. लास्ट ग्राफ में whether V2 irreversible will be the lower one or V2 reversible will be the lower one, that I decided based on temperature. That compression means heating. That compression means heating. And from there, we had arrived at this equation. So using this, I concluded that V2 irreversible will also be higher than V2 reversible. फिर I marked these values or these points. I was not able to conclude it via the work argument. No. The first one is very simple, self-explanatory. Explained it twice that time itself. Please watch the replay. चलो ये भी मैं आपसे ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुका हूँ. अरे नहीं बाबा, chill. I am drawing the chart for you. Don't worry. There are questions in the slides. Attempt those questions on your own. Let's see if this is the chart. Oh yes, this is the chart. I didn't have to write. बच गया. Let me just confirm whether everything is correct here or no. Yeah, I'm checking it. I have no idea why it is there. अरे यार, let me correct it. Please hold. I will forget formula and all, तो तुम लोग की बैंड बच जाएगी, वो सब रॉन्ग हो जाएगा. And I remember only via practice, nothing else. Nothing else can save you. हाँ बोलो. Yes, you can rely on this table. I have corrected it now, but this is valid for reversible processes only. So this you can use table for reversible processes only. Guys, see, table पूरा रटने का जरूरत नहीं है. Most of it is sort of automatic. Delta U column is automatic, always NCV delta T. Delta H column is also automatic, always NCP delta T. Majorly you have to remember work done only. And Q तो FLOT से निकलता है ना. Q we always calculate using FLOT. So actually you have to just remember work done column. Now, what do you mean by polytropic process? The the uh, the gas equation for polytropic process comes out to be the same as an adiabatic process, but here the polytropic constant is N. where n is not equal to gamma. अगर n equal to gamma हो जाएगा तब तो वो adiabatic process बन जाएगा. Is this understood? Polytropic process is similar to adiabatic process, but n is not equal to gamma. What does polytropic actually mean? We'll not be going into the details of that. ये वैसे ही out of syllabus चीज है polytropic process. Yes, okay, cool. It looks like revision, isn't it? So what can we say mathematically about polytropic process? Mathematically यही कि PV की पावर 1 नहीं है, अब PV की पावर some other number है. Like it is yx square equal to constant instead of yx equal to constant. You don't have to go into the details of it. They will never ask you. They will at max ask you, give you polytropic constant value and ask you to calculate work done. So directly you plug in, you get the answer. Yes, don't think you are running away. Wait. How to solve for irreversible then? For irreversible processes, work done will always be equal to P external into V2 minus V1. For irreversible processes, work done will always be equal to minus P external into V2 minus V1. Two special irreversible cases we have to study. Free expansion adiabatic. Now, what does free expansion means? Free expansion means that external pressure is zero. You are opening up a gas cylinder. You are opening up a cylinder in vacuum. Can I say that no work will be performed because there is no external pressure? There is no external force against which I will have to perform work. So work done comes out to be zero. Adiabatic means what? Adiabatic means Q is zero. Implies delta U will be zero. Delta U, if it is zero, implies delta T is also zero. So for adiabatic expansion in an irreversible system, that means a single step adiabatic free expansion. Can I say that if we write this in the table, everything will basically be 0, 0, 0, 0? Isothermal free expansion. Again, it is irreversible only because you are expanding in single step. Because it is free expansion, I will say P external is zero. This would imply work done is zero. Work done is zero because it is isothermal. Now I will say delta U is zero. If delta U and work done both are zero, so heat exchanged is also zero. Is it understood? So this is all about absolutely no difference. This is all about first law of thermodynamics. Work done formulae, delta U formulae, delta H formulae, and heat related formulae. This brings us to the end of first law of thermodynamics. What are the drawbacks of first law of thermodynamics? There are many, many, many drawbacks of first law of thermodynamics. We will study them in the next class and we'll then begin second law. Okay. Please practice the questions that are given in the slides. Now you can cover everything till second law from Tattva. Bye guys. Take care. Good night and stay negative.